I now invite Dr. Hasmukh Shah to introduce another new initiative by Bapio Wales. Professor Bamra, you have stolen my thunder.
Thank you, Hasmukh. I'm not really going to introduce the association. We've got the British Indian Nursing Association in Wales being launched today. And I think it gives me great pleasure in announcing that this Welsh division will be launched today, because the association between doctors and nurses is an inseparable one. It is an absolutely essential and vital relationship, and it's but natural and but just that the role played by the nurses of Indian origin in keeping our population safe be formally recognized through this launch. For this, can I invite Dr. Ramesh Mehta, the president of BAPIO, to come on the stage. Would also then like to invite Professor Jean White. Professor White, CBE, is the Chief Nursing Officer of Wales. She trained as a general nurse in Swansea and practiced as a theatre nurse in Wales and in London, and has held senior positions in nurse education at the Welsh National Board, at Health Professions Wales, and in the Welsh Government. She was appointed as the Chief Nursing Officer of Wales in 2010. Jean holds a number of visiting professorships and academic fellowships, and is the fellow of Queen's Nursing Institute. She was made a Commander of the Most Excellent Order of British Empire in 2017, Queen's Birthday Honours List, and became a member of the Order of St. John's in 2018. Welcome, Jean. Next, I would like to hand over to Kumar, who is the chair of British Indian Nursing Association UK, who would take this initiative forward and introduce you to his fellow officials and the Welsh division. Kumar, over to you.
Thank you, Keshav. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon. Right. First, I'm thanking my organization for this privilege to lead the British Indian Nurses Association. I would like to express my sincere thanks to BAPIO, especially Dr. Mehta, Dr. Bamra, and Dr. Singhal for their support. First, I would like to share a short story about our journey so far. Dr. Mehta and I discussed about the idea of a nursing association about 3 years ago. We had a vision about how we as Indian healthcare professionals could unite and influence our healthcare system for the benefit of our patients and staff. During the time of COVID and Black Lives Matter, I got similar conversations with some of my peers like Suresh, and we had a strong conviction that we needed to provide a supportive platform for our nursing community. We have been guided by that conviction, and BINA started in August. We had a grand inauguration in November, and today we are here, still guided by that conviction. We are here to launch BINA in Wales. Today is an historic day for nursing in Wales, Great Britain, and in India. Indian nurses are the second largest group among non-European Economic Area nursing group in UK. There is an increasing dependency on international recruitment. More Indian nurses are expected to be recruited. BINA will play a pivotal role with all the key stakeholders to ensure quality pastoral support for international nurses. Furthermore, BINA will work with the Wales healthcare system to ensure all our nurses are supported to thrive in the UK healthcare system. As a chairman of BINA, I am blessed and privileged, as this is a historic moment for Wales nursing and the Indian nursing diaspora. I thank all my executive committee members for their hard work, cooperation, and their dedication to this noble cause. They are a great team. I would like to extend my warm welcome to Professor Jean White, Chief Nursing Officer of Wales, and my BAPIO and BINA members for joining us and making this occasion a special one and blessing us today. Once again, my heartfelt welcome to each and every participant in this conference. Before I complete my welcome speech, I would like to pay respect to all the nurses and healthcare professionals who lost their lives in the COVID war. God bless you all. Now I would like to welcome Dr. Mehta, the President of BAPIO, to do the presidential welcome address. Thank you.
Thanks, Kumar. Professor Jean White, BINA Chair Kumar Sami, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very special day for the Wales BAPIO, as well as Indian nurses and NHS in Wales. Launch of British Indian Nurses Association in Wales signifies a great leap forward for better quality patient care as a result of better well-being of Indian nurses and in turn, much better use of Indian nurses' abilities and talent. The NHS, since independence, has relied on migrant nurses who have undoubtedly contributed to the patient care even under most challenging conditions. Unfortunately, discrimination, bullying, and obstacles to the career progression of ethnic minority nurses are still impacting on their well-being. In spite of prime role played by nurses, they remain unsung heroes of the NHS. BAPIO Wales has been an outspoken, proactive, and influential voluntary organization promoting equality and fairness. Our aim is to promote professional excellence and leadership amongst all healthcare workers and to empower them to contribute towards improving patient care. However, we also have proven ability to stand up for injustice and unfair treatment. BINA is an arm's length body of BAPIO. It means, although it is a part of BAPIO family, it will have full independence of working without interference while being able to use the BAPIO infrastructure and influence. A big advantage to the NHS is Indian nurses and doctors coming from the same cultural background and working in the same trust. This will enable them to form a social unit, providing pastoral care for each other. I congratulate National BINA Chairman Mr. Marimathu Kumarasamy, Co-Chair Ms. Asha Day, and Honorary Secretary Mr. Suresh Pakiam. Equally importantly, I congratulate the Executive Lead for Wales, Ms. Kokila Swaminathan, and I understand it is your birthday, Kokila, so happy birthday. You chose the right day. Also congratulate Mr. Raju Metri for amazing progress they have made in a very short time. You have become one of the more important initiative of BAPIO in Wales, and I, on behalf of my executive committee, commend the launch of BINA Wales. Thank you very much. With that note, I request now our guest of honor, Professor Jean White, to please give your address. Thank you.
Hamdar, and good afternoon, everyone. I've so enjoyed today. I must congratulate BAPIO before I get on to BINA. It's been an exceptional day with such important messages for us all. I am really delighted to see the establishment of the British Indian Nurses Association, and I warmly welcome its launch in Wales today. I extend my congratulations to everyone whose hard work has helped to set up the new organisation to give a platform to strengthen the voice of Indian nurses and to provide support when they need it. 2020 was such a difficult year for everyone, and it is wonderful to see something positive, such as this new association, emerge at this time. 2021 is sure to be better for us all, and I'm really hopeful looking forward to the future, and I'm sure it will be much better for us all. I'm sure some of the delegates here today will have been touched in some way by the effects of the virus, and I would like to extend my sincere condolences to anyone who has lost a family member, friend, or work colleague. But I would also like to say thank you, sincerely thank you to all of you for your hard work, your professionalism through these most challenging of times. I think the response of nurses and midwives, along with all the other health professionals, has been truly extraordinary and outstanding. The BINA is emerging at a time with a far greater focus being put on tackling racism and race-based inequality. Particularly here in Wales, we are looking very seriously at this matter. This, as we have heard throughout today, has been in part through the pandemic and the findings of how the disease has affected parts of our society, but also the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter campaign following the shocking murder last May of George Floyd, the Black American man, at the hands of the US police. And as you have heard today, our First Minister in Wales has asked for dedicated work to look at racism and racially driven socioeconomic inequalities in the Welsh population. I'm pleased and honoured to say that I am part of the working group that is working on a new race equality action plan for Wales, which Jane Hutt talked about earlier this afternoon. I strongly believe that nurses and midwives have much to contribute and support the work to improve the health inequalities that we see in our society. And I look forward to seeing a strengthened role for them going forward in this area. One of my aspirations is for the establishment of a national forum for Black, Asian and minority ethnic nurses and midwives in Wales, and work is underway to explore how this can be set up before Easter. I hope that the local networks, peer groups and associations like BINA will link with this national forum to ensure grassroots voices are heard at a national level to help drive changes in our professions. In 2018, I initiated work through the Welsh Nursing Now campaign to improve diversity in the nursing and midwifery workforce. This work is progressing well, and I'm very grateful to Public Health Wales and the working group chaired by Richard Desir for the continued enthusiasm to drive this work forward, even during the pandemic. I hope that positive links can be made between BINA and the Nursing Now campaign. There is much to be done in terms of promoting diversity within the nursing and midwifery professions. I think it's hugely important to hear authentic voices and differing perspectives, and I encourage everyone to raise their voices and help us shape the nursing midwifery professions and the services in which you work. I know it is difficult to speak out sometimes, but with the support of associations such as BINA, I hope that more people will do so. And I wish this new association every success for the future. And my team within Welsh Government look forward to having a very positive working relationship. And I've enjoyed my contact with the members so far, and I wish them every success. Now, I understand we are planning to launch the BINA website. So Professor Singhal, I hope you'll be able to organise this so that we can formally kick this off. Yes, is he there? Professor Singhal, are we ready to launch the? Excellent. Fantastic.
Professor White, it's already launched at your button pressing. Thank you.
That's brilliant. Thank you ever so much. That is marvelous. And I hand back to the chair.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words. And thank you for your interest in race equality in Wales. And you will be working very closely with the health with the health sectors in Wales to achieve this together. Thank you. Now I invite Suresh to come and do some update about the work done in Wales so far and introduce our executive leads for Wales. Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you, Kumar. Good afternoon, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and honorees here. I feel really humble and also privileged to be part of this inauguration Wales launch of our BINA and also part of BAPIO conference. Before I go on, I'd like to say one famous quote, worldwide known quote, but it's one of the top 10 quotes in Wales. That is, tapping persistently breaks the stone. Tapping persistently breaks the stone. That means what? If at first you don't succeed, but try and try again. This is one of the famous quotes. Most of the Welsh people know about this. That means we have a battle in our hand, tackling inequalities, racism, discrimination, so many things in our hand. I'd like to say thank you to those people in the past who has been tapping this stone consistently. I'd like to say thank you to them, but now it's our turn to take that. Let's continue to tap on that. Some of the chips come away, but the large stone is still there, so unmoved. So we'll be working on that. Hence the reason BINA will play a major role in future, and especially in Wales, with the help of our regional leads and your pledge, Professor Jean White, working together, I think we'll be able to achieve that. Just to give an overview of our BINA, we have two purposes. One is to provide a pastoral support to our nurses who are coming from India. So that work is really going well in UK. I wish that we will continue to work on those agenda in Wales as well. I heard that there are a number of nurses are coming in Wales, arriving soon, or people have arrived recently. So we'd like to work on that. The second one is to ensure we support our Indian nurses to thrive in the UK system by mentoring, coaching, developing a tailored program for them. So I'm sure we'll work on the Wales side as well. Thank you. I would like to introduce our BINA Wales lead, executive leads, Kokila Swaminathan. Kokila is an advanced nurse practitioner. She's working in a health board, Wales. She has formed a BAME group within a trust. Believe it or not, she has over 200 members within that health board and already proving effective member, and changes are coming. Thanks, Kokila. Would you like to wave or namaskar? Thanks, Kokila. And our second executive lead, I'd like to introduce Mr. Rajiv Metri. He's on the screen as well. He's a senior cardiac nurse working in North Wales. And also he's got a unique title as well. He's first probably Indian local borough councillor working in North Wales. So I'll introduce Rajiv. Hi, Rajiv. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jean, and thank you, Bapio.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I just want to take this opportunity just to take 10 more seconds to say thank you to our great team behind. We have executive leads for various regions. I'd like to say Mrs. Sharon Sundar Singh is executive lead for East of England, and Samuel Jude is also executive lead for East of England. Mrs. Anu Thomas is an executive lead for North, and Manju C. Pallam, Dr. Manju C. Pallam is executive lead for North. Mr. Suresh Periyasamy is executive lead for Midlands, and Kala is also joint secretary, and Mrs. Jassi Chopra Powell is executive lead for South, and Mr. Simon Jacob is also executive lead for South as well as joint treasurer. And Annie Pranamranam is our national treasurer. And I'd like to take this opportunity to hand over to Mrs. Asha Day. She's also our co-chair of BINA. She's got many credentials. I suppose just briefly to say, she was an ex-director working at very senior level, over 30 years of experience in NHS organizations and various sectors. She also been awarded as Fellow of Institute of Health Visiting. She recently won a BEM, British Empire Medal Award, for great work on COVID risk assessment. And I'll hand over to Asha. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Suresh. And I'm going to keep it brief because everybody's tired. So first of all, I'm delighted and feel very honoured and privileged to offer the closing remarks or the vote of thanks. I just wanted to draw your attention to, I am a public health nurse, so this morning's sessions were absolute music to my ears. And I come from a profession that looks at searching for health needs. We are about preventing ill health. And for us, it's always about improving health outcomes for our patients like it is for everybody else. And I must say, in public health, these are the real unsung heroes, the people that are behind the scenes that you don't actually see because they never make the TV. But what I wanted to draw on is some words I've picked up during the day and words that resonate and also are themes within BINA, which is collaboration. Collaboration is the very heart of why we're here. And thanks be to Bapio, who said, we have this thing and nurses and doctors work really, really well together. It's a symbiotic relationship and therefore we need to concrete it. And we are still a very new organisation, but I think we punch well above our weight at the moment. Thank you for the collaborations. We also talked about leadership. We talked about the social determinants of health, equalities or inequalities. We talked about racism. We talked about innovation. And we know that during the last year, there has been so much innovation because necessity has made it that. The words that didn't come through, but I think I got were words of compassion and resilience, commitment, and bravery. Those were all inbuilt within the conversation. And somebody said, quoted about me, but I think it's quoted about a lot of people. Remember the Wombles with round bottoms? And it's a bit about that chipping away, but we always come back. We find something to come back, so we don't give up. So in terms of what I really want to bring from what we've said this morning and this afternoon is I'm absolutely committed as the co-chair and as BINA are, but I'm actually blown away with the collaboration, the depth and breadth of expertise that both organisations bring and the amount of leverage we can have, not just locally, nationally and internationally. We all have those. The picture behind me is Alaska and I have links in Alaska. So Tanuka and the non-government organisations over there. The impact that we've had on our legislative bodies, the inspectorate boards, the education bodies, and that we have a legacy to leave to our future and next generations, and it's for us to make sure that they have the education, the training, the support. And pastoral care, as BINA will say, it's not just about giving somebody, here's the church and here's what to do, but it's actually the emotional resilience that you give people. It's the psychological safety that we give. So really I want to take that. And also, if there's any learning you can do from England, I've been involved in RARES, the Workforce Race Equality Standards. And if you can take those 9 standards and look at them, it might be a way to accelerate your learning. Obviously adapt it to what you need it, but it might be a way forward, because I know that when I looked at the papers back in June, Wales was starting to do some absolutely superb stuff, and I'm sure it will overtake England in this agenda. So thank you very much. I think my 3 minutes are over. Thank you everybody.
Thank you, Asha. Now I'm handing it over to Dr. Singhal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's great to have the British Indian Nurses Association, and I wish you all the very best with this endeavor.